Hello. Hi. It is me, Kyle. Um, I have a lesson. Uh, it's gonna be a lot of parts. Why is it gonna be a lot of parts? Because I ramble and I add lots of information to things. I go through a few scriptures. Usually, just one of my lessons that I cut 10, 15 minutes out of will still end up being 20 minutes if it's a good sized lesson. So basically, I'm going to try to split this lesson, which I'm going to call humanness, into 5 different parts. And I'm going to try to keep them below 15 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes if I can. But I've been wanting to make something like this for a while, something covering like the creation of humanity, of man, meaning men and women, and just covering like what the meaning of the word human is, what the root of the word human is, like, and then also covering things like the original sin of humanity, the knowledge that humans gained with their act of sin, like the imagination and ingenuity of humans, the inspiration they can find, and of course, like the human spirit. So it's going to be broken into those 5 parts. It's going to be broken into human meaning, human knowledge, human sin, human ingenuity, human spirit, and then there's going to be like a conclusion. We got about 5 or 6 pages of lessons, so this is going to be dense. I'm going to be packing in as much stuff as I can, trying to stay on topic with my script, and I don't know. I feel like I'm not an authority on history or an authority on psychology, but I have an authority, and that's through Jesus Christ's name. So, and I have a platform to share with. I know some things, and I bet some of the things they share will help some people who are like me who may not have known some of this, and also may surprise some people who think they know a lot. I know because I was in those shoes, in the shoes of the person who believed they had everything locked down and understood, and then found out they did not. That they were way past their, they had a lot more to learn than they realized. So, this is the stuff I've learned over it's more than a year now that I've been really studying, poring over the Bible, devoting my time to God, and there's been lots of bumps and rough patches, but I'm much further ahead than where I was, and at this moment in time, after prayer, deliberation, reading, and writing down this lesson, I feel that I can share something God-given and important, and I just understand that this isn't my own ideas, that a lot of this clarity is God-given clarity. Okay. So for the first part of the lesson, we're just going to go over the definition of a human being and what is the root of the word human. So, definition of human is this: relating to character, set apart or opposed to God, animals, or machines, showing characteristics of kindness and sensitivity, a person separate from other creatures. Okay. That's very interesting. Especially the part where it says relating to character, set apart or opposed to God, animals, and machines. I don't know if they mean by that like inanimate or animate machines. I don't know if we have an animate machine yet, one that has like conscious thought, but it's interesting. Then there's the root of the word, right? Human. So obviously I went through the top 3, which is Greek, Latin, Hebrew. Now Greek, it's anthropos, which just means human or man. Then in Latin, it's homo, which means man, and that's of course where like Homo sapien, Homo erectus, all those like science terms which use the Latin base roots, obviously are So homo means man. Then there is Hebrew, and it's humus, or humus, and this means earth or ground. But in relation to like the Hebrew language and sentence structure and biblicality, it also kind of will mean human, but it also means like humanity. In certain contexts, as an adjective, it also means like humility. So, of course, the Hebrew root and then the definition and different meanings and contexts of the word humus is much more interesting than the Greek or Latin, to me at least, as a seeker of God. And, humus means earth or ground, taken from the earth or ground. So, of course, we know some things of that. If you read or if you looked at my video that talks about my book, I believe I do go over some of the book. I read some of it and go over like Adamah, the name of Adam, and how it means like to be made from the dirt, to be made from the clay. And it goes over how his name literally means formed from the dirt, from the earth. This human and humus is a much more non-personal, non-proper noun, obviously, than Adam's name. So it's just I just can't get over the one part where it says relating to character that is set apart or opposed to God, animals, or machines. That's very interesting because these definitions are definitions written by linguists in historical context, like from those languages, by human beings themselves. So to have like that definition still hold up in modern times, it's really amazing to me. So then I wrote down some scripture regarding human beings, just like what is a human. And these are the scriptures I could find right off the bat. They answered that sort of question. So there's Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, let us make man in our image according to our likeness. So that's the first thing, is we're made in the image of God. Man is godly in a sense. He is made from he is mirrored from God. Then it says in Genesis 5:2, he created them, male and female, and he blessed them and named them man in the day when they were created. This is just meaning that as like a race, as a people, he created them male and female in his likeness, but he named them man. The actual like race of people biblically is called man. So that may answer some questions. And then there is Psalms 115 verse 16, which says that God created it so that the heavens belong to God and the earth belonged to man. So that also says something, and there's more scripture in Genesis, of course, where it talks about like the dominion of men over creatures of the sky and the sea. So that's another thing. The dominion of the earth was given to men, and the earth itself and the creatures on it were created for man. So, and of course, in the end, there's like a great beauty, like the meaning of the human race. Like God made us as a companion race. He made us in his image because he created us to also hold dominion and righteous authority, and he wanted us to walk beside him as like a friend and a servant, in different where there was almost compelled servitude for these angels. The angels were created as a race that was compelled. They are subservient to God. They were not created in the likeness of God. They were created in the likeness of the heavens. It's a very different sort of ideal behind their creation, and the purpose is very different. And then, of course, God himself gave us independence. He gave us freedom to be autonomous. So that also changed what we were supposed to be doing and what we ended up doing. And we fell out of grace with God, in the end. Right. So that's going to be just the first part of the lesson. I am going to just record this all in one go. So, Kyle, either this is going to cut